So you're thinking about moving to Montclair, New Jersey. If you want to know everything that is in relation to it, watch this video until the very end because we're going to go over many different things in no ranking or order. Google Map tour, homes on Zillow, the main attractions, major highways, nearby airports, and how long it takes to get to New York City. So let's get after it right now. Hey, if you don't know, this is Seth with the Living in North New Jersey channel, and we get calls, emails, messages every day from people just like you who's looking to make a move to North New Jersey. And we absolutely love it. So whether it's 1 day later or 1,000 days later, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. We'd be happy to help you make that smooth move to North New Jersey. So as we mentioned, we're going to be talking about Montclair today. We're going to jump on our computer, go over Google Maps, and really check out the main things that is super important for you to know. So that could be all the things that I mentioned earlier in the video, but I think you're going to really enjoy it and find lots of value in it, because if you're considering making a move to Montclair, it's important to know what's inside of Montclair. So let's jump right into our computer. Alright, let's get started. So we're looking at Google Maps right now, and we're looking at where Montclair is within New Jersey. And if we zoom out, you can see exactly where it is, surrounded by all these other towns like West Orange, Verona, Cedar Grove, Clifton, Bloomfield, Glenridge, and these are amazing towns that it's surrounded in. So Montclair is an amazing town by itself already, and being surrounded by such great neighborhoods and, you know, great schools, just great communities overall, it's gonna be kind of reserved just that way for a really long time, because if there's a town next to it that's not so good, that's when you usually notice that that town also might not be the best as well. So when we zoom in here, we can see that there's just so many different parts of Montclair that we're seeing. We have the upper Montclair, this is mid Montclair, and then closer to the lower section we have the downtown district. By the way, we are uploading a video that is in regards to just like a tour, vlog tour, where we go out in person and check out the downtown district, different homes. So if you're interested in that, take a look at that as well. In Montclair, there's a total of 40,000 residents in total. So it's not extremely populated or incredibly, densely populated, but it is one of those towns where it's not like Wayne, so it is closer to the metropolitan area, and it's definitely gonna have a lot of traffic and a lot of cars, depending on what specific part of Montclair. But if you are looking for somewhere very quiet, it's gonna be extremely quiet in comparison to other areas in Hudson County like Jersey City or Hoboken. Those kind of areas. All right, let's move on. Let's start with our top attractions, because I want to really get to show you guys the top attractions that are in Montclair. So if you do end up living in Montclair, it's a good idea to see what's out there, what you can visit, or if you're nearby, some places that are definitely worth checking out. So let's get started with the Wellmont Theater. I would say this is one of the top. Wellmont Theater is one of those theaters where they have lots of different shows and plays from different kind of groups all around the world that come to Wellmont Theater, because there's a lot of history involved within the Wellmont Theater. Let's take a look ourselves here and really see it visually to see what you guys think. So if we do click on buy tickets, let's see where this takes us. This should bring us to the to some of the events that are coming by. And you can see here, I mean, it's completely packed from the beginning of September to the end of September. There's like at least 10 shows, and it just gets packed. So if you're into plays and shows, this is gonna be one of your top locations for sure. So moving on, let's go to our next top attraction, and that's gonna be the Montclair Art Museum. So if you're into art, or if you are enthusiastic about arts, well, this might be something that's worth checking out, because there's a ton of history involved in here, but it's also an artistic area with lots of different kinds of animals and sculptures and paintings. So this is definitely super cool for anybody that's, even if you're slightly interested in arts, may be worth checking out. Because Montclair itself is a very historical area, so it might even be worth checking this place out within itself. Moving on, let's zoom back here into Montclair. We have Vleck House and Gardens. So in this garden place. This has a ton of reviews, by the way, so you can see that over 500 reviews, 4.7. It's a botanical garden and beautiful flowers and beautiful kind of scenery. Like, you wouldn't think that you're close to New York City by maybe like a 20-30 minute drive and you get to see this type of nature in New Jersey. You know, a lot of people think New Jersey is somewhat like, or North Jersey is somewhat like New York City, but trust me, huge differences, you know, right? Especially when you step out of the Hudson County area and enter places like Montclair, you're gonna see beautiful, beautiful places like this. All right, moving along, let's check out the Yogi Berra Museum, and this is going to be in the upper section of Montclair, where it's actually in Montclair State University. So for those that don't know, Montclair State University is New Jersey's second largest university, and it's located right in Montclair. It has huge campus. It's amazing and beautiful campus. I went there several times. Actually, I had my sister graduate from here not too long ago. So if you are looking to take a look at some museums, the first one, Montclair Art Museum, is a great one, and that is another great option to check out if you're already in Montclair and you're into museums. It features Yogi Berra, which is a legendary catcher who played for the New York Yankees, for those that don't know. And yeah, so I mean, if we're looking at some photos, we can definitely check out some really cool stuff here. Yankees jacket. It's also a learning center as well. That's actually it's something that is referred to as. So it's referred to as not just Yogi Berra Museum, but Yogi Berra Museum and Learning Center. So super cool, especially for the Yankee fans as well. All right, moving on. I mean, those are the most, you know, top attractions in Montclair. Obviously, when you step out of Montclair and everything's like pretty packed and super close to each other in New Jersey, you're gonna see a ton more attractions, but today we're focusing on Montclair and, you know, what's within Montclair. So I think that's a good idea to really see, you know, what's right maybe next neighborhood or close to you, if you do end up living in Montclair or close by. So moving on, let's talk a little about the parks, because I know a lot of people want to have more nature involved and have more greenery. So one of the top parks in Montclair is going to be Eagle Rock Reservation. So Eagle Rock Reservation is right on the border of Montclair, and it's kind of right outside that where West Orange and Verona meets. And this is one of the top parks, and you can actually get an amazing view of New York City from here as well. It's a huge memorial park, and let's take a look at some pictures so you can get a better idea of what it looks like in action. So absolutely amazing walking trails, lots of history involved, and that's one of the top or best things about kind of New Jersey, in my opinion. It just has so much history that you can check out and see, because it's one of the oldest towns and oldest, you know, cities in all the US. So it's just really cool to see what that, or how that kind of came into fruition in the first place. And yeah, I mean, you're seeing it. This is definitely a place where we should probably have a video and really check out and see, so just so we can show it to you guys, you know, before you end up making a move here, or before you come out here and check out the place for yourself. All right, looping back to our parks. So whatever green plot that you kind of see here within the Montclair area is some sort of small park or walking area, lots of nature involved, and they take care of the parks and the streets of Montclair, New Jersey incredibly well. So everything's so high maintenance. I mean, the taxes are a bit high, and you do see how it really goes into play with all these maintenances and parks and recreations. But you know, wherever you are in Montclair, you're gonna have some greenery or parks and recreational areas close to you, which is absolutely amazing. So zooming in here, we have Nishwan Park. We'll go over these more quickly. So Glenfield Park, and these are more so larger parks. I would say even just walking areas could be a small corner like this, like Porter Park. These are definitely much smaller, but the larger parks, let's zoom into this one right in the middle of Montclair, Woodman Fields. Glenridge Country Club. This is a golf club in Montclair, so if you're into golf, lots of different golf places that you can check out. It's absolutely amazing and massive golf areas as well. We have another really nice park. We have Brookdale Park. There's a dog park nearby. I believe this is closer to Clifton as well. So Brookdale Park is right by Upper Montclair, close to Clifton. This has lots of trails. I know this park very, very well. And then, yeah, I mean, you can see it. You're not gonna find any lack of parks or any lack of nature in Montclair, which I think is great, especially if you're somebody that's looking to get out of the city, or if you're looking somewhere where you need to work in New York City, but you just want to have a more suburban lifestyle, and that's what you enjoy. You know, if you are somebody who enjoys more nature and greenery, I think probably Montclair is one of the best options if you have the budget and means to do so. You know, schooling is great, nature, lots of land. All right, let's talk about restaurants, because I know lots of people are curious, you know, where's the restaurants, where are the cafes? So most of them are gonna be in the downtown district, obviously, but you're also gonna get some here and there, you know, in the neighborhoods. You're not gonna see a ton around the neighborhoods, just because Montclair is more so, you know, more reserved and less stores within the neighborhoods. But when you're seeing the downtown districts and more so the busier streets, that's where you're gonna see all the cafes and restaurants in the world. And trust me, these are the best restaurants in the area, not just Montclair. For those that don't know, Montclair was even considered as the Beverly Hills in the 1800s and the early 1900s as well. So I'm telling you, this place has so much history involved, so much just absolute luxury involved, where you'll be amazed if you do see it in person. So let's kind of zoom in here and see. I heard that this one called Raymond's is one of the best restaurants out here. Pasta ramen. I mean, when you click on these, you're gonna see a ton of reviews, over 1,100 reviews. Jawa, an Indian place, over 300. I mean, they're all almost highly rated. So you're not gonna see any kind of restaurants here that's not so good, especially because the downtown districts are a bit more expensive for rent for businesses, as you can probably imagine. Cuban Pete's, over 7,000 reviews, right next to the Wellmont Theater. Trend Coffee and Tea House. I know this is one of the top coffee shops, over 400 reviews. When we zoom in a little more, let's get a better look here. Elf's Gyro. Who doesn't like a nice gyro, right? 4.7 rated restaurant. Ice cream place. Gotta love it. Ice cream, over 200 reviews. Bagel, I mean, grills, like you have every single type of restaurant here in Montclair. So you're not gonna get bored eating out, in my opinion. You're gonna have a ton of different cafes that also involve lots of history, more antique style shops, which is really cool. And yeah, and then you can obviously see the other kind of stores nearby here as well. So lots of different boutiques and shops and, you know, clothing stores, if that's something that you're into. Maybe spend a nice weekend, do some shopping, eat some food, grab a coffee. Definitely the place to be in Montclair downtown district. And in the weekend, you're gonna see thousands of people walking around, roaming around. A lot of the times they have kind of small festivals or small community events where there's lots of music, kind of live music going on as well. So I think this place, if you're into that at all, you're gonna absolutely enjoy, because honestly I don't know too many places that have a downtown district this lively that also blends some sort of suburban vibes as well. Let's talk about major roads and highways in Montclair, New Jersey. So the major one is going to be Garden State Parkway and then Route 3 as well. So when we kind of zoom out a little bit, you're going to get a better idea of where that's exactly at. So Garden State Parkway goes through a little further out from the outside of Montclair, and you can see it down the line here. And the easiest way to access it is go through Bloomfield Avenue down where, you know, Lower Montclair is. Or if you're an Upper Montclair or midsection, you can connect through one of these roads. Watchung Avenue is one of the main roads here. You can see over here. We have another one. So this was Bloomfield Avenue that we're referring to. And then there should be one more up here. Easily connects to Garden State Parkway. And then that's probably going to be one of the ways to kind of travel through. If you're going to be working in New York City and you're going to be driving or commuting towards the city, you're probably not going to use the Garden State Parkway too much. Route 3 is going to be your main source of getting to the city, and that's where Upper Montclair is going to come into play for easiest access to the highway to get to New York City. So if we kind of move along here, this is Route 3 over here that takes you straight into New York City. So if you're somebody who wants to get there super fast, I would suggest this part of Montclair. And if you're somebody that doesn't really care too much about the city or doesn't work in the city, any part of Montclair is good. If you're into more action and more liveliness and more activity, I would say midsection of Montclair towards the bottom is probably better. Just kind of more noise, more restaurants, more coffee shops, and you still get that perk of having those parks nearby. So that's great as well. And the prices really vary depending on the parts of Montclair. I know that Upper Montclair is a bit more expensive than Lower Montclair, and it does tend to get more quiet and more peaceful in the Upper Montclair area. So let's zoom out here a little bit and really take a look at bird eyes view as to how it is to get to the city. So this is Route 3, as we mentioned, that goes through all these different towns. Lyndhurst, Nutley is right next to it, Rutherford, and then American Dream Mall as well. By the way, American Dream Mall, for those that don't know, is one of the largest malls in New Jersey that just opened up like a couple of years ago. Over 25,000 reviews right now, but it's right next to MetLife Stadium and absolutely huge. You'll probably get lost there if you do end up going there for any shopping. But that's probably going to be the closest mall along with Paramus. It's a little more up north. So let's zoom out a little bit more, and we can see here that New York City is right on this side over here, and then this is a Route 3 that goes directly into the city, connects to the bridge, and gets you to Midtown New York City. And this route is probably around 13 miles or 12 miles or so, and depending on the traffic, that's going to really depend on how fast you get there, but on average this should not take you any longer than 35-40 minutes to get to the city. I actually like to see it in action right now. Today is a weekday, so it might be a good example. From Montclair to New York City, let's see, let's just put in Port Authority for those that want to jump on a bus from there, as it already drops you off at Port Authority normally. So 29 minutes by car. With a bus, depending on what part of Montclair you're coming from, if you're living near a bus stop, if you want to first drive to a park and go NJ Transit area, that's another option to do. But it shouldn't take you, the fastest commute time is going to be 55 minutes. So there are a few different transportation options to get to New York City from Montclair. A lot of people love using the light rail because it gets you there, no traffic and super easy to get to. Light rail is one, a bus is another one. Light rail is probably going to be the fastest bet, especially if you live close to one, or if you just want to drive there and park your car there and go to the city. Right now it does say 55 minutes, but that includes kind of walking as well. Let's check it out with some more details here. So 44 minutes from Watchung Avenue Station, that's going to be one of the main stations in Montclair, and then that takes you to Pennsylvania Station. So yeah, this is going to see a lot of the time Google Maps kind of goes crazy with it, but Pennsylvania Station is going to be the main station that Watchung Avenue Station takes you to, and that takes only about 44 minutes. So park there, jump on the light rail, and you'll be in the city within 44 minutes max. There's a total of 8 stops. And most of you probably are not a fan of driving there, but if you are planning to drive there, that's going to take right about 29 minutes to get to the city, or 30 minutes. So yeah, right around 16 miles in total. Alright, so we talked about the top attractions, we talked about the top restaurants in the downtown area. the major roads and also the parks that are in Montclair or kind of surrounded around Montclair. And I think those are absolutely amazing. But a lot of you are curious about the real estate market in Montclair, New Jersey, and that's kind of what I want to go over a little bit. Nothing crazy, over Zillow as well. And then right after, we'll kind of take a look at what the schooling is like for those that have kids or that want good schools in your area. So we'll take a look at that as well. So first off, let's jump onto Zillow, because Zillow is, a trusted partner, and we do use Zillow a lot, to be very fair. And moving closely to the Montclair section here, we're gonna see a ton of listings that are available. So I'm not sure why this is currently listed. And when we look at for sale, available listings for sale in Montclair, New Jersey, we're gonna see a total of 37 results. So that's very, very little. Montclair tends to have residents that stay there for a very long time, and the market is pretty tight right now as well. So 37 is definitely not a ton of homes that are available. But from the ones that are, let's take a look and see what it looks like. So what I want to do for you guys is first check out the lowest price listing, see what is the bare minimum to get to Montclair, New Jersey, if that's a die-hard town for you. So let's start and take a look. So here we can see a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom condo in Montclair that's listed at $295,000. That's going to be the cheapest home that you can currently buy right now in Montclair. And then after that, it moves from $400,000, $450,000, it keeps going up from there. And yeah, a lot of these are condos, so it is definitely a bit smaller, but homes are not cheap in Montclair. So if you do want the benefits and the perks of such a luxury and amazing historical town, you're gonna have to pay the price for it, just like everybody else does, right? So let's go and filter it from highest to lowest, just so we can get an idea of what is the maximum price for a home right now in Montclair, New Jersey that you could potentially get. And that's 2.6 million. And don't get me wrong, there's going to be much more expensive homes in Montclair, probably anywhere from $4 to $6 million that are currently not up for sale. But right now, currently, the highest priced active listing in Montclair is 2.6 million, and then it goes from 2.5 and drops after that. And let's take a look at $2.6 million home looks like, because who doesn't want to know what this beautiful home looks like, right? So we have a really nice in-ground pool in the backyard, has a ton of scenery, as we can imagine. It's Montclair, and look at these views, man. I mean, we got a historical home, and most homes in Montclair are going to have an architecture that's going to be very well kept from the past, from probably 100 years ago or even more than that, and just very well maintained in good condition, just like this one. It's not like a new construction, built in the last 10, 20, 30 years. I'm pretty sure this one is, almost 100 years old, built in 1928, close to 2 acres of land, and you have your own tennis courts. Nice wood burning fireplace looks like. I mean, look at this home. For 2.6 million, you could get something like this, and ton of land in Montclair, New Jersey. It has a theater room, 3-car garage, and looks like a driveway for about 1 million cars to fit into. And yeah, I mean, you have a really nice backyard, tennis courts, and let's see where exactly it's located within Montclair, because I think it's pretty close to the downtown area. Let's see. Yeah, so this is right by West Orange, and West Orange is an amazing town as well. And you're very close to the downtown area overall. So when we zoom in here, super close to that park we mentioned, the Eagle Rock Reservation, and then probably a 3 to 4 minute drive from Bloomfield Avenue, downtown district. For those that want to be super close to restaurants and really enjoy their time there on the weekends, or maybe even weekdays, right? Alright, that's it for kind of our Zillow overview. But if you do have any further questions regarding real estate or what the housing is like right now in North New Jersey or Montclair, feel free to reach out. You can also schedule a Zoom with us, so we can go more in depth with you and see if we could potentially help you make a move here or answer any of your questions that you might have with no obligation or anything like that. So let's move on to the school district. Let's move on to the school system in Montclair, because schooling is important for a lot of families out there looking to make a move to Montclair. One of the main websites that we use is greatschools.org, and greatschools.org does provide pretty accurate information, but I think it's definitely also worth doing your due diligence, asking around, maybe visiting the schools yourself, or if you know anybody nearby, potentially they could give you some insight as well. So let's see here. Montclair doesn't have a ton of schools. Montclair is known for great schools, but not a ton of schools. And we can see here is an elementary school that's 8 out of 10. Another elementary school that's 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 is an outstanding rating, just as well as 7. Anything under 7 starts to kind of decline a little bit in quality, but I would say 6 and up is definitely considered a good school, or a really good school, you know, especially after the 7 mark. Another elementary school, 8 out of 10. And this is a middle school right in the middle of Montclair, Renaissance Middle School. That's 7 out of 10. And then there's also charter schools available for those that want to go to a charter school, or private schools as well nearby. And looking at the high school of Montclair, it's not the best, but if you do have kids that are going to elementary school, middle school, they can go to a great school with a great rating, and potentially maybe you can send them off to a charter school or a private school if you're really looking for a, you know, top tier school. And if it's not anything crazy for you, or you're like, you know, I don't need my kid to go to a 10 out of 10 school, you know, 5 out of 10 school is still good. You know, town not too far away, Clifton for example, is like 2 out of 10, and it's not as bad as you might think, but it's definitely worth researching carefully and seeing that, you know, what kind of plays into that ranking. Is it the academic? Is it the kids there? Is it the teaching? Is it the quality or the physical part of the school? You know, what is it exactly? And then you'll get a better idea as well. I mean, we can see here that even Montclair High School got a College Success Award in 2021. Yeah, it seems like there's another school, and we can see here that there's another high school in Montclair, right closer to Bloomfield Avenue, and this is a private school. So this is where a lot of people, if they have the means to do it and they really care about the quality of the education, making it top tier, you know, private school is obviously an option in most places, including Montclair, New Jersey. Alright, so there you have it. We went over Google Maps, really went over the main things that is super important for you to know, from the top attractions, top restaurants and cafes, the downtown area, what is the transportation like, and the major highways and roads, and even the parks for those that really want some nature and parks nearby to go to, which is, in my opinion, one of the most important things for myself. And if it sounds like this fits your criteria, or maybe you want to learn a little more about Montclair or make a move here, feel free to reach out to us. All of our information is in the description down below. You can email us, shoot us a message, give us a call, or even schedule a Zoom call with us using the link down below, and potentially you can have a chat together to see if Montclair makes sense for you, or maybe a different town makes the most sense for you in North New Jersey. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit the thumbs up button, tap the subscribe button, and I'll see you around town.